Hey everyone, welcome to this week's video. First, the shofar. We have begun the month of Elul. Every day throughout the month of Elul, except Shabbos and except the last day of the month, we blow the shofar. Let's go. And now something from this week's Parsha. This week's Parsha is a short one and a beautiful one. And I want to dedicate this little talk to the memory of the 6 hostages that were brutally, viciously murdered for one reason and one reason only. Because they were Jewish. They were brutally murdered by terrible, evil people. May the memory be a blessing. And as we say in our tradition, when someone is brutally murdered, may God avenge their blood. This week's Parsha is Shoftim. It's about judges. The beginning talks about judges and justice and pursuing justice. To which the Torah says, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. This is one of the most abused statements of the Torah nowadays. People love to quote it, and they don't believe a word. They don't believe a word. And I'll tell you on 2 fronts. Number 1, they selectively choose the causes of justice. It's not that they cause just causes of their own. They choose causes based on, I don't understand what. Suddenly people care about what's going on in Israel and Gaza. I talked to a fellow today, he told me he was in Spain. And it is that 50% of what was on CNN was about, because it's only a language, only channel he understood, was about what's going on in Israel. What's going on in Sudan, nobody cares about. What's going on in Haiti, nobody cares about. What's going on in China, nobody cares about. What's going on in Russia, Ukraine, nobody cares about. They're completely oblivious. The only thing that has caused commotions on campus is the thing in Israel. You want to champion tzedek? Tzedek, tzedek, Tirdov. Every tzedek you should champion. Then we'll see if you're really for real. If it's only just one tzedek, here and there, whenever you feel like it, you don't really care about tzedek. You don't really care about justice. And then the Torah said, tzedek, tzedek. Why do you say twice? So the Talmud says, tzedek, justice has to be pursued with justice, not with violence, not with chanting, screaming rubbish. You feel just about a cause? Pursue it. But pursue it in a just, normal way. Tearing down monuments and graffiti, that's not justice. That's violation of the law and civil society. To rip down civil society for the sake of justice, that's not justice. It's violence. Tzedek, tzedek, Tirdov. Tzedek, justice must be pursued with justice. Beautiful idea from the Talmud. Such insight, such depth. And then the end of the Parsha, we have laws about war. One of the unique laws about when Jews go to war is that they're not allowed to tear down fruit trees. Why can't you tear down a fruit tree? If the army needs to go and there's a fruit tree in the way, rip up the fruit tree. No, not allowed. Why not? Because is the fruit tree a man? Is the fruit tree a person? You just rip it out of the way. You won't have what to eat if you tear down the fruit trees. The rabbis read this word a little different. They don't say, is the man a fruit tree? They say, a man is a fruit tree. Humans are like trees, but not like any tree. I just had to rip up a tree because it was growing the roots into my drains. Big problem. But it wasn't a fruit tree. It was a willow. Long story. Anyway, don't plant one. The fruit tree, a human is like a fruit tree. Because a human has to have delicious actions. Actions that are like fruit, that sustain, that are sweet, that are beautiful, that you enjoy. If you're a tree without any actions, without producing anything real that people could benefit from, then you're like the tree that's growing into my drains. Then we can rip it up, no problem. The value is not there. As human beings, we have to be people that not just exist and say, hello, I'm here. It's not even enough to have good roots, which is the idea of faith. There has to be something that comes out of what we do that is positive, that provides value to society, to our friends, to our families, to our neighbors. If not, nothing. It's not worth anything. Ha'adam, the human being, is Eitz HaSadeh, is a tree of the field that produces fruit and is valuable. And sometimes people think they can blow in the wind and make a lot of noise like a tree. There's no fruit. And this is what we have to teach our children. We teach our children and we have to teach ourselves that the most important thing is, what am I doing for society? What am I doing for others? Am I bringing something delicious and luscious and beautiful and sweet to my friends and family? Or am I just something standing there in the way? That's the message of the Parsha. Another very important point, as we can piggyback off into this, the Rebbe makes this point. He says that in sometimes we say that the world has to be a dwelling, a home for God. And there's another time in Midrash it says that the home is a garden, an orchard. An orchard has fruit trees. A house is a house. Which is better? Okay, they're both important. We can get into the details of that another time. But he says one of the unique things about trees, of homes, is a home, if it's built strong, it stays. Maybe you have to fix it up here and there, but basically, you got it. It's going to be there. My house is over 100. Whoops, my house is over 100 years old. It's going to be good, don't worry. But a tree, an orchard, if you don't water it, and you don't care for it, you don't prune it, it's gonna die out. The human being is like a fruit tree that needs work, needs effort. We got to put effort into ourselves, into others, so that we really produce those beautiful fruit. I had the privilege to listen to Rachel Poland Goldberg, Hirsch Goldberg Poland's mom, when we were in Israel. She spoke so beautifully. And the pain of these parents is beyond belief. And our heart goes out for them. And we pray that those that are surviving, that are alive, the hostages, they be returned to their families immediately, quickly. And may this whole craziness end. And Rosh Hashanah, we should celebrate together with a Shana Tova, a really good year, Umetuka, and a sweet, sweet year. See you soon. Good Shabbos.